Good morning. In this video, we will discuss MySQL triggers. So we need to create one table, employee table, as shown in the exercise. It contains four attributes: employee number, name, salary, and phone number. So let's create a employee table. Yeah, after creating the table, you do not have to insert any records. We are going to discuss the trigger for before inserting a record. Okay, so the question is, you are going to create a trigger called calculator. So what it will do, it will calculate this total salary of the employees. Okay, whenever you insert a record, the salary data will be added on as a total, and when you want to see the total, it will show you the total. Okay, fine. So that's what we are creating a trigger. So create trigger calculate before every insert. So before insert on the employee table, before insert on employee. Okay, and then can you see this is the name calculate before every insert. What are we going to do? We are going to calculate the salary. Whenever you insert, take the salary, add it to a variable. When you insert another record, take the salary, add it to the variable. You cumulative sum, you calculate it. So for each row, what are we doing? We use a variable. So set the variable as equal as plus the salary. So the salary is the new salary, the one you are going to insert. So it's called new dot salary. Okay, fine. The one you are going to insert. So it's called new dot salary. So that's it. So S is a variable. In Java used to say S is sum equals sum plus I. So something similar to that. Okay. Variable S equals variable S plus new dot salary. So before you insert a record, set the variable S equals 0. So set variable equals 0. Now you start to insert records. Whenever you insert record, that salary number will be added to the S variable. Every insert, okay, whenever before you insert into the table, that salary will be added on. So let's say I inserted first record for James. His salary is 2000. So I already set S equal to 0. So 0 plus 2000, 2000. Now I'm inserting second record for Jack. His salary is 3000. So 2 plus 3, 5000. Okay, fine. So let's see one more record. So this is the formula, sum S equal S plus new salaries. Okay, fine. So let's see the total, 2000 plus 3000, 5000. So how do you see the value of the variable? Very simple. Select the variable S and you give a column heading total salary. So what it will be displayed? Total salary and then the final amount, 5000. Okay, fine. Now let's see another exercise. You are going to create a trigger named CH salary, which will be activated before this is also before every insert. So this is also before insert. Fine. What are we going to do? Whenever you insert a record, you check the salary field. If that number salary is negative, you put the salary as 0. The new salary is going to be 0. Otherwise, as it is. So let's see. So create a trigger and the question already give you the name of the trigger, that is set salary. Okay, fine. Here I would like to say one thing, which is I'm changing the delimiter. Let's say I put delimiter double quotation. Normally what we will do is we will assume, normally at the end of the SQL statement you will put a semicolon. Semicolon means end of the statement. Okay, that's the idea. That semicolon is called delimiter. Fine. So that semicolon is what you call delimiter. Normally when you write a statement, you end the SQL statement with a semicolon. Semicolon means that SQL command is over. Okay, fine. Now I am going to write a trigger, and in the trigger I am going to write certain SQL commands. Okay, a trigger is going to have like few 2 3 4 or a few SQL commands. So every command needs to end with the semicolon. If I use a semicolon, there will be a misinterpretation that this is the end of the trigger. Okay, you got my point. So we should need to say that this is not the end. When I put a double quotation, here I use the delimiter double quotation. So when I put the double quotation only, the trigger ends. This is the meaning. Okay, fine. Let's see. So what you do, you change the delimiter. It was semicolon. Now you change it to double semicolon, to semicolon, and then start your trigger. So you write the trigger, create trigger, ch salary, okay, ch underscore salary, okay, fine. Before every insert, we are going to check something and do something, okay, in the employee table. So before insert on employee, okay, for each row, okay, this is common for every row. Okay, we are not skipping any row. For every tuple we are going to do. Okay, fine. So what are we doing is you check the salary. If that salary is negative, you will put a 0 for this new salary, the one you are going to insert. 0 will be inserted. If the salary you put it positive, nothing will be done. The same positive number will be inserted. You got my point? Let's see one example. Okay, if it is negative, you set the new salary to 0. This is the task you are going to do. Okay. So we have a condition. If new dot salary is negative, negative means less than 0, then set new dot salary is 0. Fine. Can you see I put a semicolon there? And then end if. The if ends here. End if has a semicolon and set statement has a semicolon. Then I put a double quotation that shows end of the trigger. So your query is over. If you don't put a delimiter, you will have a problem. Okay, now let's try to insert few records. Insert into employees values. This is third record I'm inserting. Already I inserted 2 records. Okay, now I'm inserting third record. The employee name is James. Okay, let's see the salary. Let's have a positive salary. 2000 is positive. When the salary is positive, the same number will be inserted. Okay, see, I put a semicolon. It's not ending. Why? Double semicolon is the delimiter. You got my point? Okay. So better after you create the trigger, you change back the delimiter to semicolon. Okay, I'll do it after a while. Okay, now I'm inserting another record. Insert into employee values. Maybe the Jack is the employee name and then salary. Let's see a negative 2000. So if the salary is negative, I will set it to 0. This is the thing. Okay. The trigger will change the negative salary to 0. Let's see the records from the employee table. Can you see I use a double quotation as a delimiter? Can you see the double quotation? And it's a negative salary. Can you see the Jack salary now? It's 2000 minus 2000. Now changed it to 0. Why 0? Because of the trigger. Okay, let's remember. After you finish the trigger, change the delimiter to semicolon. Okay, every time. You write the trigger and then change to semicolon. Start the trigger with the delimiter double semicolon. Okay. And then do the trigger. After finishing the trigger, delimiter single semicolon. Change it back. Now next question. Again the same type of thing. Trigger named set salary, which will be activated before every insert. So this is also before every insert on employee table only. What are you doing is, again you are going to check the salary field. If it is negative, you set it to 0. This is what we did before. And if it is some above 15,000, you set the new salary to just 15,000. Okay. Even though if it is 30,000, 50,000, the new salary will be just 15,000 only. Okay, then as I mentioned, this is going to have certain SQL commands. That command will end with the semicolon inside the trigger. Inside the trigger, you are going to have few statements and that will end with the trigger. Obviously, you need to have change the delimiter. Okay, fine. So let's see. So this is the question. Create a trigger, set salary before every insert. Before insert an employee for each row. Okay, for each row, and then if. What are the ifs? If the salary is negative, set to 0. Okay, see, if the new salary is negative, set the new salary to 0. Okay. See, I set the new salary, sorry, it's checking, is it negative? Then set new dot salary equal to 0. Then I have to write a semicolon. You saw my point? See, when I put a semicolon here, then the command will end it. Think that it's a delimiter, the trigger is gone. The trigger is finished, not gone, it's finished, but it's not yet finished. I need to check another condition. So this is what I told you. Every time you start your trigger, you change the delimiter to double semicolon and then start your trigger. And after you finish with your trigger, change back to semicolon. Delimiter, semicolon. Okay, every time you have to do. You just see what was the problem. Okay, remember that problem. Okay, so for each row, what I'm going to do? New dot salary negative less than 0. Then set new dot salary is 0. Okay, this is the structure of if then else. If and then condition, then whatever the statement, semicolon, end with semicolon. Can you see? It's not a delimiter, semicolon. Okay, fine. And now I still have another condition. So else if together, no space in between, else if together. What is the condition? Is it the new salary above 15,000? So else if new dot salary above 50,000, then what you do, set new dot salary equal to 15,000 only. Okay, whatever is it. So semicolon here, the end is over. So end if with the semicolon and the trigger with the double semicolon. So double semicolon at the end tells this is the end of the trigger. Okay, let's try to insert few records. Already we have 4 records. So the trigger will work for the new records only, not for the existing. You got my point? This trigger will work for the new insertion. Okay, so that's what I'm inserting few records. Let's say the employee name is maybe Jill and the salary is 2,000. Okay, 3,000. Salary 3,000, no worries. Nothing will happen. The same salary will be saved. Okay. So can you see I didn't change the delimiter? That's what I need to put a double semicolon. So that's what I change back the delimiter. Then I can write my command with semicolon. So one record I inserted for Jill, another record for Jim. Let's give a negative value. Negative means less than 0. Okay. So this record contains a negative value. Jill record is okay. Jim contains negative salary. Okay. There is a mistake in the command. Can you see the mistake? Jim, I need to put it in double quotation. But the quotation was missing. That's what the command didn't end. So I have to stop the command by exit. Okay. What was the mistake? What I did? I exit. How do I exit? Control C. When I put Control C, it comes out. So I go back using the SQL command and then change the database. Now I'm continuing with the trigger. Sorry, I'm continuing with the insertion. So which record now? Jim's record. Okay, now let's let's have a negative salary. Okay, so what will happen is the trigger, before it inserts, the trigger will be activated. So that trigger will change the new salary to 0. Okay, fine. So now we insert another record because we still have one more condition. Let's see whether that is working or not. Above 15,000. So let's put a salary above 15,000. Okay, now we have three records, one for Jill, Jim and then Johnson. So let's see the tuples from the table employee. Can you see the Jill? His salary is or her salary is 3,000 as it is. For Jim, we gave a negative salary, so it will be changed to or set to 0. And Johnson's salary is 20,000. So 20,000 is above 15,000. When it is above 15,000, the new salary will be set to 15. So Johnson's salary is set to 15. Now let's see another exercise. Create a trigger which will be activated before every insert of the employee table. Okay, so we are checking because employee table contains number, name, salary, phone. So we are going to check the new name value, trim the value and change it to uppercase. So before insert. Okay, fine. This is also before insert. If you want after insert, this is all same. Okay, so we just put after insert, before update, after update, or whatever is it. So as it's going to have few statements, the trigger, so I change the delimiter and now create trigger set salary. So I write before insert on employee. If it is after insert on employee. If it is update, after update or before update or after delete or before delete. Okay. I just give an example of insert, before insert. It doesn't mean that we need to write a trigger only for before insert. It can be for after insert, before update, after update, etc. Okay, let's see the thing. We trim the new value and we change it to uppercase. Can you see? I have two statements, set statements I put in the begin end. Set new name equal trim. Trim is a function. It will trim the white spaces. Okay, upper means it will change the value to uppercase. You find I'm using two functions, trim function and the upper function in the set command. Now let's try to insert two records. One is the Patterson. Here Patterson doesn't have any white spaces. What is the trim will do? Trim will remove the white spaces. You know the extra spaces, you have it in the beginning and end of the name. Here Patterson doesn't have in some space in the beginning and in the end. Okay. In the middle it's not a problem. I'm talking about the white spaces in the beginning and in the end. Can you see now? So now this next record we are inserting Pete. Pete is having a white space in the front and in the back. Can you see that white spaces? So that white spaces will be terminated or truncated. You got the idea? And the name will be in uppercase. So I change the delimiter before the trigger and now I set back. Okay, actually I didn't, I need to set back. I put a double semicolon already. So remember it is semicolon is the delimiter. Okay, fine. So select star from employee. Let's see the Patterson and Pete. Can you see they are all in uppercase? When I insert, I put a white spaces for the last record Pete. Now you won't see the white spaces. So that's the idea. Okay, thank you.